Yeah, this is like my, this is my trick. It's a piece of paper over a light bulb. You know, people,
Wow.
There are tricks to amateur video that really even I don't know about, and I'm doing them. Hi everyone, it's Susie Mordoh, and we are back again with another conversation with women who love what they do. And nothing makes me happier than being here with my friend, Karen Yankovich. And I know once you meet her, you're gonna love her too. She's not just my friend. In full disclosure, we are also business partners on a specific project that we met in an online marketing class. But we'll talk all about that later. First, I want you to welcome Karen Yankovich. Thank you so much for being here, Karen.
Oh, Susie, my absolute pleasure. I'm so excited to be here.
So let's get started and jump right into it. If you guys don't know Karen, the best thing, like I keep calling her, she's a LinkedIn evangelist. She is fantastic at what she does, but you know, she didn't always do this. So I'd love to hear, like, how did you get to the point where you've created this business and you love what you do?
Wow. Well, you know, I started out in the corporate world. I worked for Verizon. I was a geek. I did tech, IT. I was a project manager, and yeah, it started to get a little old. But anyway, I took B school, which we'll talk about, to learn a little bit about marketing, some online workshops that I was doing, and I was still doing, you know, the tech stuff, and I had some consulting clients, and I had a job, and I was, you know, all this geeky stuff. But I took this and I took it to do one thing, but it like became so natural to me because even though I was in the IT world, I was always in sales and marketing. Like that was always my thing. I was always in front of the customers, always pulling everything together and, you know, making things happen. So social media was kind of like a sweet spot for me and online marketing, because it blended all the techie, geeky stuff with the marketing stuff, right? With the people that I really love to deal with. So people started coming to me saying, how did you know how to do this? And paying me to do this for them. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is what I should be doing then. So I started to do it a little bit at a time, and then, you know, niche down and continue to niche down, which kind of all led me to LinkedIn, because that was where I was comfortable, right? I was comfortable with the corporate world. So I started to really focus in on LinkedIn because I really felt like that helped everybody with their online marketing platform, because that kind of starts with you and what makes you really good. So yeah, that was a kind of like, there's no ladder. It was more like a roller coaster.
Right.
Ups and downs and curves and
Exactly. Well, I had the beauty of watching you through it, and I will say you navigated it beautifully, because you are a social media marketer in all the formats. And I watch these women where so let's just talk, I guess we'll start a little bit with B School, but these women asking you questions, and it's like you are the go-to girl. And LinkedIn is obviously the sweet spot of all the social media, but you have knowledge in everything, which is really helpful to lots of people.
Well, you know what? It's really a lot of fun to help people do it. And you know, what my corporate world gives me, especially being in the IT world, right? I was typically very often the only woman in the room, right? So you had to really portray a lot of confidence, even if you didn't have a lot of confidence, or you would get absolutely eaten alive. So, you know, I really am pretty good at fake it till you make it, or really, you know, really leveraging off of what your skills are and actually being really confident. And I think that that's a skill that I like to share with people, because a lot of times I find that that's not a really strong suit for a lot of people. They know they're really good at something, but they're not really confident that they can make a living at it, or they can reach the right people. So that's really why I love LinkedIn, because it kind of gives them that platform to start from, where they can look great, and really by just telling everybody how great they are with all their skills and training, it kind of starts giving you a little confidence when you look at your LinkedIn profile, and you see you really do know a lot of stuff when you kind of see it in black and white.
Yeah, well, you certainly helped me with mine, and I will say that God, there's so many things I want to talk about right now because you've opened the door. And B School, which is this online marketing, course with Marie Forleo, is just fantastic. And if you haven't seen any of her videos, I will be putting links below, and you must watch them because they're fantastic. But that community, when we joined just a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I lose track of time.
I think it was 2012, right? So
Well, right, I know. How old are my kids? I can't remember. I have to think about their birthdays. It's the whole thing. Same thing. When did we start? That community, maybe at the time was 5,000 people, give or take 1,000. And now they're up over 12,000, 15,000. It's probably 20,000 now for all I know. And as everybody's getting ready to sign up for 2015, I'm sure it's going to explode. And that community is just fantastic because you do gain the confidence like you were talking about. I think when we both started, I didn't even have an event planning website. I was sort of doing it on the side. You're doing your thing on the side, working for corporate. I was working for a kitchen designer. And we've ultimately both left our jobs and have, fully functioning businesses as a result. So it is,
well, I think one of the things, aside from the fact that the training itself is phenomenal in B School, what it gave us, or it gave me, is a community of people that I didn't have before. Exactly. Like I had a consulting business. I didn't have a website. Maybe I did. I might have even had a website, but I didn't really use it. I didn't know how to use it. And I didn't know where to start. But like when you have this community, you can go online at 2:00 in the morning and go, I'm stuck. Do you like this name or that name? And 30 people jump in and answer your question. So that was really helpful to me. Plus, I think seeing other people kicking butt with their businesses allowed me to think bigger with my business.
Absolutely. I can agree 1,000%. And I didn't even know if it was event planning I was going to do or where I was going to lean into it. And I kept doing it. And the whole, follow the money. Like if the universe keeps throwing you events, why are you fighting it? Those are things you learn. And it seems obvious, but you think, do I need to be certified? Do I need to be, licensed? You're not a licensed event planner, but simply by doing it, you're an event planner. And I've been doing it my whole life. So you go like, what is that? So it's just sort of stepping in it and owning it. So that, was a few years ago, and please, it's been raining ever since, which has been fantastic.
I know. It really has. It really has. And you learn a lot about just really staying in your zone of genius, right? Like you don't need to be all things to all people. Stay with what you're really good at. And it seems a little counterintuitive, right? To say, well, there's another 100 clients. You don't need another 100 clients. You just need the next client. And sometimes you get the next client by being really good in a really specialized area. And I never would have known all of that. And you know what, Susie, like just meeting you and other people like you, just having my back. Right. If nothing else is just amazing.
That is fantastic. And we did, we do have a business relationship that we run an event called Portraits and Profits, where we really do help to up level people's business. So for me, running an event and seeing to the details and managing the different aspects of it, and having Karen leverage her social media and PR and photography and just really video as well, helps other women mostly, although we're not limited to women, step into their zones of genius and really own it. And even just having a little bit of attention on yourself and not feeling like, oh, I shouldn't do that, allows you to kind of let it soak in and realize it's okay. Like this is what you do. And it's okay to share your talents and strengths with everybody else.
And it's not bragging or arrogant to do so. That's how they find you. You're helping people, but people have to know you exist, right? So it's not bragging or arrogant. It's just about stepping into that expert status so that you can help more people. And, at the risk of pissing off maybe half of your audience, men do that a lot better than women do. Right? We sit back and we go, I'm pretty good at this. Men walk in and go, I'm king, right? Like we need to learn how to do that more so that we can help more people. That's what we love. That's what I love to do. Right. But if I don't tell people that I'm good at what I do and what I can help them with, they're not going to, I can't help them because they won't even know I exist.
Exactly.
You really have to have the confidence and
I think that whole masculine feminine thing is like, that definitely hits a bullseye. I have two very dear friends who I'm going to actually see tonight, happily enough. And they are at the top of their game. One's in a legal world and one is in a medical world. And they're in that place where maybe there are 4 women at their level nationwide. Like they're up. And they say, you know, even when we talk and we have dinners, they'll be like, well, my boss is leaving. And the first question is, are you going for the job? Like, you got to step into that job. If your boss is leaving, that's the perfect window for you to step in and show them what you can do. And no matter what level we're at, we're like, well, I'm not sure if I'm ready. We're like, you're not ready now. Somebody else is going to jump on it. So,
right. And you know what? Sometimes you get ready as you're getting there. You know, you kind of become ready. But what I love to do is teach that same skill to people that don't, you know, like a lot of people are working, you know, at jobs like that they really don't want to be at the mall or whatever. If you're really good at something, you can make a career at it. And that's one of the reasons why I love LinkedIn and Twitter and the sites that really are more personal, because you can really share with the world your genius and think bigger, right? And make that living for yourself, doing what you love to be doing. If you step into it and have that confidence at whatever level you're at.
Exactly. And I love to also point out, even to my daughter, and I know you with your kids, you're role modeling for them and you're showing them that it is possible to sort of lean into what's important. And yes, you can have a family, run a household, and still have a business and do it on your terms. Maybe you don't need to be the biggest. Like, your big might be different than somebody else's, but your zone of genius is yours. And when you share that strength, you really inspire somebody else.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? If you are making a decision that you want to live that kind of a life, you know, maybe it means you're going to pay somebody to clean your bathroom so that you can spend more time doing what you love to do and with your kids, right? Maybe we don't have to be all things to all people. Maybe we can outsource some of the things that we always feel that we need to be doing so that we can stay in the areas that we want to be in.
Exactly. Please, the older I get, the more I realize that. The more I know, the more I realize I don't know. You know, I got more to learn.
Very true.
And you let people, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should.
Right.
So, you know, my little nemesis, bookkeeping. I really, like, my eyes glaze over. I can't do it. Like, I hired the bookkeeper this year, and every time I have to write a check to her, my heart leaps.
I know.
Oh my God, not because I'm writing the check, because I don't have to do it.
I know. I completely agree. I'm with you on the bookkeeping. I can do it. I just have no desire to do it.
I can, but I actually get a little, like, the left side, the right side, you know, did you know there's a register for this, a register for that? You're like, you know what? I do a lot of stuff, and I do a lot of stuff pretty well. This is just not my thing.
Right.
You know, I know, like, balancing a checkbook. This was how much.
And often you find out, like, when you research these things, it costs you like $20 or $100.
Exactly.
Like, I'll give up my shoes this month, a new pair of shoes this month, if I don't have to look at my books. You know, so sometimes it's not as much money as you think it is. You know.
Exactly. Well, because you put obstacles in front of yourself without even realizing you're doing the research. You just think I can, and your thoughts, you know, become reality. So with that, I mean, I could talk to you all day. One of the things that I like to ask women that are successful in what they do is, what would you tell your younger self? Like, what you know now, what did you wish you knew back then?
That I didn't have to play by other people's rules. Mm-hmm. You know, that I could do the things that I'm talking about doing right now, that, you know, that I could have enough confidence in myself to do what I love to be doing, not what other people thought I needed to be doing.
Right.
You know, and that's, I actually, that's a really big deal. Like, I think even, like, I talk to college kids about LinkedIn and things like that. And I don't, you know, I know you need a job, but let's talk about what kind of job you really, really, really want. Don't just take a job because you need a paycheck, you know, like, give it 5 minutes and see if you can really kind of create this life. And I didn't know that. You know, I just kind of took the jobs where the money was, and then I had kids and a mortgage, and, you know.
Yep.
The next thing you know, I'm like
locked in
on that. Right.
Right. And I will tell you that one of the things, and I, you know, mastermind with other women, and like yourself, we talk with you. One of the things of going into event planning is I get to sort of structure my day. So you get to create the life you love, and you get to still, you know, for me, if I can still exercise in the morning, meet clients in the afternoon, maybe I'm going out at night, and sometimes I have to meet them at night because the husbands are involved, they're working. It's really all okay because you're still balancing out the stuff that you want to do for yourself.
Right.
which is really
right.
nice.
And I think that's a good role model too, to you know, that the first thing you mentioned is the first thing I do is work out. Like, so you take time for yourself first every day, which I love that.
Right. Well, that's, I do a little bit of that life coaching, mentoring on the side. Who knows where this video is going to be, like, 3 years from now. And I can't say that enough. You got to start your day with you.
Right.
Big deal. So let us know, because for those that say, yeah, LinkedIn, I want to do something, I don't know what to do. Tell us what you can offer and how they can find you.
So, in line with what we've been talking about, how it's really important to tell the world how good you are at what you do. It's not always easy to do that yourself. So one of the services that I offer is where we do your LinkedIn profile for you. And it's so funny because we send up a questionnaire, and then they fill out the questionnaire and send it back to us, and my team gets on it. And often the client looks at it and goes like, oh my gosh, is that me? Like they would never have been able to say those things about themselves. So that's really one of the favorite services that I offer, because it really quickly takes people to, a new reality of themselves, So that's really the favorite service that I offer, is where we do your LinkedIn profile for you. And there's some other things, I've got blog posts galore about LinkedIn and ways you can do it, and Twitter, and, I'm also a big Twitter fan, and other social media sites. But the reason I think it's important to start with LinkedIn is because it's in 2015, which is when we're talking, people Google you for everything, right? Like they throw your name in a search bar if they're going to give you $5, never mind if they're going to give you $50,000, right? So when you create, LinkedIn is very highly searchable by Google. So when you create a great LinkedIn profile, you're telling the world what you want them to know about you. When they Google you, they're going to keep looking until they find something. Maybe they'll find Facebook. Maybe they'll find your high school prom pictures, right? But if you give it to them at LinkedIn, so they stop right there, and they've got everything you want them to know about you, and you're representing yourself in a really professional way. And especially if you're in an industry like, I work with a lot of creatives, right? So maybe you're a healer, or, if you're in an industry like that, maybe LinkedIn seems counterintuitive. All the more reason why you need a great LinkedIn profile, because it's going to balance that off for you. And then people are going to really have the confidence in you to give you their money. And that's really why I think it's so important to start there.
That's a great point. The whole, left side, right side. So I'm going to put all the links and how they can find you at the end of the video. So you'll send that, and we don't need to worry about that now, so you don't have to say it. But what you did do is really line me up beautifully. You teed me up for one of my favorite things, which is angel card time.
Ooh.
And if you'll play with me, what I like to do, because although we are busy, running through our day and getting things done and checking them off, I do like to, bake in a little bit of goodness with the spirits and the angels.
Sounds good to me.
And I do know that you do too.
I do.
So I did ask for your highest and greatest good. What I do is I put them up to camera.
Okay.
And then, and I do this every time, the wrong direction. And then I'm going to kind of scroll through, and you're going to tell me when to stop, and
okay.
Wait, invariably it's going to be the wrong one. And then you'll say that one, but who knows? And then I'll pull it, and then you'll tell me what you thought the minute you saw it. And
okay. Okay, stop.
Okay. So are we feeling like it's this one?
Yep. That one's good.
Okay. Ah, can you see it?
No.
It says balance.
Ooh, okay. Wow. I love it. I love the ball. I don't know why I'm drawn to the ball in there, that maybe things are, so it's interesting that it's not a balance like a scale, right?
Right.
It's a balance it's a circular balance. Like, it's not like this and this, it's this, but it still has to stay, you've got to kind of keep it moving. But if you don't stay in balance, it kind of tips or rolls the wrong way. So that's kind of what I see with that.
Right. Well, when I saw this, and then I know you a little bit too, I think that just like what you're saying, it's not one thing or the other, and we're balancing. You're in, balance can be your overall. So that ball to me is like the overall life, the overall work-life balance for you, for others, for your children, and that it's always evolving. It's always rotating. And it's not, sometimes you're leaning more towards one side than the other, but you should expect that we don't all, even when we say, everyone says, I want to be more balanced and I want to create balance, nobody's balanced 24/7. We're all human. So we just kind of roll with the way that it evolves and pay attention to it.
I love that. I love that they use the ball instead of scales for balance.
Yeah, I like it. I haven't actually pulled that card in a long time. So it looks really good. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
So thank you so much for talking. And I'm also gonna share all the B-School info, because if you're not involved and you are looking to sort of enhance your online presence, there is nothing like it. And hopefully you'll sign up and join the community.
Yeah, it's February 2012. What year is it? February 2015. We're talking. If you're watching this during this month, reach out to me if you have any questions about that, because I've got a lot of support. I've got some free webinars that I'm doing. If people have any questions about B-School, I really want people to make an informed decision. And of course, I'm also supporting people through B-School. I'm a partner. I'm a B-School partner. I should have said that right at the beginning. Right. So she compensates me to help her promote the program. So because she does, I'm able to offer additional bonuses and really mentor people that sign up with me through the program. So I would love that. If you're interested in that, I'd love to talk to you about that. And I can tell you all about how that works. It doesn't cost you any more money. It's just, it's just done a little differently.
Exactly. You get a little more goodies that way than going straight.
Exactly.
It's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to
thank you. This was wonderful.
Send you the love. And you're going to see this on air in just a little bit.
Okay.